You're watching KUAM News Extra with Sonya Artero.
And welcome back. Continental Micronesia continues to spread its wings throughout our region as the airline presently serves a total of 8 cities in Japan, the largest number of any U.S. or European carrier in the market. Now, from those 8 cities, Continental operates approximately 60 flights per week to its Pacific hub of Guam, which includes some of its top resort destinations of Cairns, Bali, Saipan, and even Palau. Earlier this year, Continental Worldwide held a huge profit-sharing celebration, and last week alone, Continental Micronesia made a couple of announcements that, 1, the company was issuing bonus checks, and 2, that an employee won a car for having perfect attendance. All this amidst the news that several legacy carriers such as Delta Airlines, Northwest Airlines, along with United and U.S. Air, filed for bankruptcy. As Continental Micronesia's president and CEO, I thought Mark Erwin could share his airline's recipe for success. So what has been the airline's recipe for success?
I think the easiest answer, if you will, the straightforward answer is it's our employees. And Continental has about 45,000 employees throughout the world. We're actually the 5th largest carrier in the world, and sometimes that's something that we don't focus on even in the Pacific region in terms of our global aspect. But I'd like to say the Asia-Pacific team is the reason for our success as well. The Pacific is an important part of Continental Airlines, as is the Atlantic, as is Latin America. But candidly, I think it's about the culture, and it's really about the people. We call it working together, and it really, as we put it together, it's if we work together, we win together. And we want to share in our success. To your point, earlier this year, we handed out $111 million throughout the world in recognizing our success in 2006. And even recently, as you say, we recognize success here, both operationally with our bonus checks this week for outstanding performance in July, and also we pulled the name and recognized perfect attendance winners. And Ms. Reyes will be coming back to headquarters in Houston and celebrate with her teammates. We've given over 100 cars out recognizing the contributions that our employees have to the success of Continental. So I'm pretty proud to always brag about the great employees both here and throughout the entire world.
Now, I understand that when United Airlines exited Guam in the mid-1990s, that made Continental Micronesia and Northwest the only American airlines to serve the 2 U.S. territories of Guam and the CNMI. What's more, Continental Micronesia remains the only scheduled service directly between Guam and any point in the 50 United States. Now, is this all part of your company's culture, if you will?
Well, I think it is. It's really about the relationships. And as we say, we're going to recognize 40 years of being home in the islands in Guam and Micronesia. And I think that really says a lot. It's very, very important for us to have a relationship with the community, relationship with our agencies, and a relationship really with our employees. I think that's the real staying power and the reason for our success. And again, we talk about 30 years to Japan. That's a tremendous accomplishment that we've had as an airline and as a team. And it's really, again, recognition of Guam Manila. 25 years we've been serving that market. So we're very proud, we're very honored to be able to serve the market for so many years.
One of the things I've noticed lately is the ads that you have around the island and in local magazines, and they're very localized, if you will. I had wondered, you know, that I use one, for example, our familia to your familia, if you will, and I'd wondered how those ads are, in fact, working for you folks.
Well, I think they're one of the keys to our success. We believe in both a global scope but also a regional focus as well. And I think the team in sales and marketing here have done a tremendous job in terms of focusing on the important local aspects as well, whether it be the Manila market, as you say, or through the islands, or really our access to the world, not only to Honolulu but also over Japan. But I think that's a very good example of the localization of the market segment and also recognizing the different cultures. And I think that's very, very important.
When you're traveling around the world and you're meeting folks from all walks of life, what do you tell them about this area and the region and what Continental has to offer to this particular region?
Well, sometimes it's interesting, and one of the other parts of my job, I work in both the corporate development side and the alliance side. And first of all, I talk about Guam and I talk about Micronesia and the scope that we have, as you stated, nearly 60 weekly departures. And I talk about the success we've had in terms of localizing the product, working with both the business and the tourism relationship as well. And they're surprised at the breadth. They're very impressed, particularly as we focus on the future with Guam, particularly with the buildup of the military. So I think it's our little jewel in the Pacific, and we're very proud of it as well. I have, again, a lot to brag about.
Speaking of jewel in the Pacific, many that I speak with personally here on Guam about, what do you like most about the airlines out here? And they all say, oh, we love One Pass with Continental, or we love the service. But they note the difference that once you reach the U.S. mainland, that service seems to drop off, even though it is with Continental. So you could have pride in the fact that you've built a team that really takes pride in the service that they offer to people on board.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, but it really speaks, I think it's quite a compliment to the people of Guam and Micronesia and all the islands. In Hawaii, they call it ohana, or a family. And I really see that every time, really since the last 20 years, in 1987, that I first was involved in Continental Micronesia and sitting on the management board, I really saw the differentiation. It's welcome on our airplane. And even as I flew out this weekend as well, I see the feeling and I see the relationship that our flight attendants have, our ground staff has with the customer on board. And I think that really makes a differentiation as well. Well, we're very successful in the United States, but there's so many flights and so many people and the transfer of employees and customers. It's nice to sit on the airplane and say, welcome home.
And it's a warm family feeling. We love it here. Stay tuned to KUAM News Extra as we learn more about Mark Erwin's extended role in the Continental family and the challenges that face the airline. That aspect when we return.
It's summertime, 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 summertime.